I appreciate all the support on the last video I uploaded, and the response from the last video really highlighted the reason I made it in the first place. So if you're not aware, the last video I made was basically an expository on Zyello and his history with grooming, and he did what I think anyone who is getting exposed would do, which is responded. This is the story he posted yesterday as a response to my video, and I'd like to just talk about it for a second. So he brings up 3 main claims in this story. 1, I had no evidence that anything sexual was going on. 2, I had 0 evidence there was any grooming going on. And 3, that the clips were out of context. So for the first 2 claims actually about me having no evidence, I did actually make it a point in whenever I gathered the clips that everything I was saying had a clip to back it up and some evidence. So I will admit my faults. I did mistake him saying that there was a 4-year age gap he knew her for 4 years. I can actually confirm with evidence that he did know her from when she was freshly 16. And this doesn't really change my point. It's the fact he's a grown man. He's surrounding himself with people so much younger than him. But back to me having no evidence. The evidence I had was basically a confession. It was clips of your voice and also the people you trust the most, your friends, just admitting everything. I didn't have to do any research whatsoever. I found the clip, dissected it, and there it was. And outside of the clip, I found screenshots from Discord on different dates that you were saying the same exact things. So I don't know how you did in high school, but that is something called corroboration. A point is way more believable when you can find multiple pieces of evidence that lead to the same result. This would be a whole different story if your story included evidence that I was incorrect. But if you have no evidence to back up your claims, then there's no reason for me to believe anything you're saying. And if you are that interested, I will leave a full unedited clip of the confrontation in description on a Google Drive so you can make your own judgments based on that. And that will also just take down his argument that there was no context. That would be the full context from when he joins the call to when he's done talking. And the fact you dox me in your story when you're the one that has evidence of being a groomer against you, it doesn't make you look good at all. I'm just saying. I understand why you put my face. It's fair game. I put your face, but putting my full name is unnecessary, especially when I know your full name. But the whole doxing thing, I'm completely unbothered by that. It was just kind of immature, and if you really did have a reason I was wrong, then you should have just put it in there with some evidence. It would make you look way more credible. And the fact that you kept a picture of me on your phone for a year straight is fucking hilarious. That's all I really had to say about the whole Zyello response. But the second thing I'd like to talk about is the Snipez situation. Now I'm going to keep this short and digestible because Snipez doesn't have the history of being the most intellectual person. But if you purposely put out an image of yourself that you own CP and you purposely want to roleplay as a weirdo, then I don't see any reason why you should expect people to still fuck with you after you say that. Just so you know, the normal response to hearing someone has CP is to think they're a weirdo if you believe it. And I don't blame anyone for believing it because that's not something you joke about as a grown-ass man. If you give an anonymous tip to the cops that someone has CP on their computer, the first thing that's happening is their computer is getting checked. And everyone that was running that social experiment with you, such as Arch, they're all just as weird as you. But I'm not going to harp on this too much. They're just making empty claims with no evidence. They have no grounds to stand on. So yeah, I hope I won't have to make another video about this, but feel free to subscribe if you want more unemployed news about the AMV com, and yeah, that's all. Goodbye.